everyone. Thanks for watching Access Hockey MI. As promised, we are bringing you a goaltender update from Grand Rapids. Confirmed. Today, we're going to talk about Victor Brattstrom. We were very excited to get him because we saw him in the prospect tournament, and he did the best, I would say, out of those three goaltenders in that tournament, so we were really excited to see him. He's not been doing so great so far, so we're going to talk about that and why you don't need to be worried, okay?
Yeah, don't panic.
So why don't we go through it?
Okay, so the 2020-2021 season, he was on loan to Liga, which is the Finnish league. He actually had a very good season. In 38 games played, 2.20 goals against, .903 save percent average, which is actually really stinking good.
Yes.
Coming over to this season, we're at... Oh gosh, it's November now. With 2021,
what days?
I'm trying to think. You're watching this on a different. It's confusing. Anyway, 2021-22, he's only played 4 games in Grand Rapids, and out of that 4 games, he has a 5.32 goals against average and a .835 save percent. Ouch.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Brattstrom, as of right now, we got him in 2018 in the draft. He was 160th overall. He's 24 right now, so he's on the track of developing to be a Red Wings goaltender. So ideally, of course, when you go through the development, you want to be NHL. You're not there to be AHL forever.
Right.
So his goal is, of course, NHL, and I believe the Red Wings' goal is to get him NHL because we've got 2 goaltenders right now in the NHL. They're both, neither of them are prospects, if you want to say that. So we want to start getting the drafted they're great. I'm not saying they're not, but you want to start seeing the drafted goaltenders. You don't want to draft goaltenders and then have them not do anything, and not go anywhere. So basically, Brattstrom right now, it is sad that he's not doing super well. I don't think he's won a game yet. I do think he's gotten pulled. I don't know if it's been more than once, but for sure once. So Calvin Pickard, who is the veteran goaltender, as we would call him, in Grand Rapids, had to come in and sub for him. So what we want to talk about today is how we don't necessarily need to write him off. It's early in the season, first of all.
This is not a Brattstrom bash party.
No, it's definitely not. We basically want to talk about like what he does have to look forward to and kind of how we see why he's maybe not had the best start. So why don't we talk about the defense?
Yes. So we all know that this season was going to be a little bit rough for Grand Rapids because our top 2 prospects,
unknown, I would say.
We've had so much change. It's a big season of change for Grand Rapids. Our top defenseman is now with Detroit. Sider's not coming back. Good for him.
It took him 1 season to be top defenseman.
Right.
He went to the Red Wings.
Good for him, but sad for us in Grand Rapids. We have defensive prospects right now, but they are not to the caliber where they need to be. That being said, they are not defending our goaltender the way they need to be quite yet. There are holes in that. So it's not entirely Brattstrom's fault that these games seem to be almost washes because of how high the scoring has been. Our defense hasn't been there in all situations. They're doing development. They're doing what they can when they can and as the team needs them to do. But they all need to improve. And so I would say in that way, he's not entirely at fault for these losses.
I think anyone can say that. You don't want to always blame the goaltender fully because how did the puck get so deep anyway to get to the goaltender? Part of that blame has to go to the D, and I'm sure that they feel that as well, and they're told that. We basically, the defense, we have a lot of good defensemen on the Griffins right now. I think right now it is early, first of all, and I think they're a little out of sync. It has been the last few seasons at least where it takes Grand Rapids a little bit to get in sync. The AHL, as you know, is very the high turnover. So they're always working with new guys. They're always coming, you've always got different lines you're working on, and sometimes it can be hard to get into a groove, and sometimes certain teams just really pull you down to their level instead of you getting them to your level. Brattstrom, I would say the D is definitely a factor.
That's a huge part.
And it definitely needs to tighten up. Of course, you got Brian Lashoff, who's a really good defenseman. You've got Jerry McIsaac, who's getting better and better every game. I would say Sabrango's also getting better with every game. It's just they need to sync up, and that is only going to help. If your D can trust your goalie, and your goalie can trust your D, you're just it's gonna be a better mix.
And I think you can feel that confidence switch too. Because with our defensive pairs, we do have very elite and very veteran goaltenders on the team right now. But like Janae said, in the last few seasons, it has been hard for Grand Rapids to find that mojo before the end of the year. I want to say before Thanksgiving, we struggled to hit that 500 mark.
Yeah, we have hit it.
Every single season, we've hit it.
And we're not doing that. We had the first few games were kind of rough for Grand Rapids. The last 4 or 5 or so have been a lot better and a lot more promising.
It's just finding that consistency.
Yeah, and I would say that the skill set, because like we said with Brattstrom, he's been doing well in Europe. He has been doing well, and I do think that he has the skill to be a good goaltender. And I do think that you can just tell he's very comfortable in the crease. He needs to get a little more comfortable, of course, playing the puck. He seems to get a little rattled. It seems like it's a fast-paced game for him.
Right.
Of course, playing in Europe, there's a little more space, where North American ice, there's not a lot of space. Things happen really fast.
You lose a couple feet and it makes a big difference.
Well, that's all we hear when we interview goaltenders is it's fast. Yeah. So I just wonder if that's something in his head too, that he's got to, I don't know, but I think that comes with maturity. It's his first season in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, and we said it before, and I'll also link the previous video we did on Brattstrom when we got him in training camp, but he is, by nature, a very athletic and very fast-paced laterally and with playing the puck. He is good at that, but translating that from European ice over into North American, like Janae said, it is faster. There's not as many passing opportunities, so trying to learn and switch that mindset that he had. It's his style of game, but now he has to speed it up, and that's got to be huge considering he's never played here, and having to completely change the pace of what you're accustomed to is a big deal for any player, let alone a goaltender who that puck's flying at you at 100 miles an hour. You got to respond pretty quick.
And prior to filming, Rachel brought up a great point where in development, it can be kind of difficult to watch kind of the growing pains, only because you know that they need ice time to get better. He needs to be put in these scenarios, and even just getting put in the scenarios, even if he's not fully prepared, he's got to use that to be prepared. And that's kind of how development in the AHL works. You're put in situations, you sink or swim. You got to do it. So yesterday, in the last game we were at, he was pulled in favor of Calvin Pickard. So he had a first period where he let go 4 goals. I would say it was 4. I would say at least 2 of the goals were D, and at least 2 were probably him. But at the same time, he got pulled because you have to go with who's going to get you the win, of course.
Right.
But you also he'll be put out more, and I think he's going to get better.
Yeah.
As soon as he's got to get that maturity under his belt, and I want him to. I guess that's kind of what I'm speaking toward, because I think he's got the raw talent.
He does.
I'd like to see it.
I would love to see that confidence, though, too. And it's really hard to watch, especially when a crowd kind of turns against the goaltender.
They go fast.
Do not be that person, because that does not help a situation.
They go fast.
They do, and it breaks my heart because that player feels worse than the crowd ever will.
Oh, yeah.
And
because they let their team down. It's not just the fans, it's the team.
Yeah, and
that's the coach.
That's their job, guys. Their job is on the line. But I would love to see that confidence, because you can tell as soon as Pickard is in that the team has more confidence too. So they play like they do. So even if they do believe Brattstrom can really hold it down in the crease, it would be great to see that actually translate in front of him too, playing with that tenacity to show him that he needs that confidence booster. I think he's been beat down a little bit this season just to start it off, and I think it would be huge for him to get a win decisively and to be able to grow from that. The mental impact for a goaltender is huge.
But also it seems to be in tandem where our goaltender, when he's played in games, there have been plenty of shots on him as far as goals going in and shots on him, but our offense can't get it. So it really is early in the year. The chemistry needs to get there. They need to tighten up. It's a team thing.
I was going to say, it's almost like hockey's a team sport.
Yeah, it's definitely a team thing, but I do think confidence in the goalie is very important. We did win a Calder Cup, though, Jared Carreau.
That's true. I believe
anything can happen. That's because of the team in front of him.
Oh, my goodness.
That was
a team unlike any other.
Yeah, 2017. But yeah, so Victor Brattstrom, I do think he has a lot of promise. It's so early, so don't despair about him right now. It's going to get better, and I think the more on ice he gets, the more confident his team can get in front of him, and the more shots, the more offense that we can generate. It really is all a domino effect.
Right. I did get a question the other day regarding Brattstrom and how someone had asked if he's another Philip Larsson.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think let's address that elephant in the room. No.
I don't think it's an elephant. Maybe it's like a meerkat.
A Swede in the room. Larsson, his situation is based on being teachable. Not
only teachable, but I don't think that he actually wanted to. I don't know. He didn't seem to want to go further. To put the work in.
To put in that work. Maybe it was something where it's like, wow, this is more than I thought it was going to be. Maybe. It's not easy, and I don't think anyone expects it to be. But I think
this is conjecture also.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. We haven't talked to him.
I haven't called him up, but
yeah.
But with Brattstrom, I don't think it is way too soon to despair. We gave Larsson an entire season before it was like, it's just not working out.
We gave Larsson, it was a while.
We gave him a long time.
I would say, though, Brattstrom, being 24, he does kind of have to show his colors.
Yeah.
He's got to show that he can stay there, because I don't think that the Red Wings are gonna.
No, the goaltending prospect pool is so small.
Yes.
It's like you said, it's a sink or swim thing.
Yes.
You either make it or you don't. We move on and pick someone who will.
Yeah.
So, but he's got. I think he can do it. It's just
I think so. Yeah, and I don't think that you can just go one season you're doing really well, and the next season you're just I think that something's in there. He's just got to tap into it, and I do think that working with a goaltending development coach and working alongside Pickard is going to be great.
Yeah.
And even having the team around him is going to be awesome. So that's kind of our update on Brattstrom. Let us know in the comments what you think and what if you've seen him play a game and what you kind of see in the raw talent or what your opinion is on him. Let us know in the comments. We appreciate, as always, you watching our videos, and like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.